in a prosperous kingdom surrounded by silver rivers and emerald forests, there lived a young king named Arius. He was kind, wise beyond his years, and loved dearly by his people. Under his rule, peace flourished, fields yielded golden harvests, children laughed in the streets, and no one ever went hungry. Kings and queens from neighboring lands admired him, and their princesses longed to be his bride. Yet, King Arius refused every proposal. "I will marry not for power, but for love," he would always say. But not everyone rejoiced in his happiness. In a dark and lonely village beyond the borders of his realm lived a witch named Morgoth, whose heart had long turned bitter. She, too, desired the young king, not for love, but for his light, for she believed that possessing his heart would make her eternally beautiful. When the king refused her hand, Morgoth's envy burned into rage. One night, under a moon veiled in storm clouds, she appeared before the king disguised as a traveler, pleading for shelter. Out of kindness, Arius welcomed her into his castle. But before dawn, she lured him deep into the forest under the guise of showing him a sacred spring. There, she revealed her true form, eyes like coals, hair like black fire, and cursed him. "If you will not love me, then no one shall have you." With a wave of her hand, she turned the young king into a great stone, cold and still. "Only one who truly loves this stone," she hissed, "shall break the curse." And so, the witch vanished, leaving the forest silent once more. Years passed. Seasons changed. The people mourned their vanished king, and the castle fell into sorrow. The forest, however, kept its secret. Not far away, in a poorer kingdom, there lived a slave girl named Alara. She was gentle and humble, yet her life was filled with pain. Her masters treated her cruelly, she worked from dawn to dusk, often without rest or kindness. Whenever her heart grew too heavy, she would escape to the forest, the only place that brought her peace. There, she found a large smooth rock beneath an old oak tree, and it became her refuge. She would sit upon it, crying out her sorrow to the whispering leaves. Day after day, she returned to that rock. She told it her fears, her dreams, her loneliness. Over time, she began to feel as though the rock listened to her. When she wept, the wind around her would grow soft and warm, and when she smiled, the sunlight seemed to linger longer. Soon, the rock became her only friend, her secret companion. One quiet evening, when the forest glowed gold with sunset, Alara pressed her hand against the stone and whispered, "You are the only one who listens to me. I don't know why, but I love you more than anything in this world." The forest stilled. A shiver of light rippled through the air. The ground trembled softly beneath her feet. Before Alara could move, the rock began to crack, not with destruction, but with light, bursting forth like 1,000 morning suns. When the brilliance faded, she found herself staring into the eyes of a man, tall, noble, and dressed in royal garments, as though he had stepped out of a dream. It was King Arius, freed from his curse by her pure love. He looked at Alara with wonder and gratitude. "You have broken the spell," he said softly. "You loved me when I was nothing but stone. For that, you have given me life again." Alara fell to her knees, trembling, unable to believe what she had done. But the king took her hand and raised her gently. "You gave your heart without knowing who I was," he said. "Now let me give you mine." And so, the king brought Alara back to his kingdom, where he crowned her his queen. The people rejoiced, for their beloved ruler had returned, and by his side stood the woman whose love had conquered even the darkest magic. As for the witch Morgoth, she vanished from the land, never to be seen again. Some say the forest itself banished her, for even magic bows before a love that is pure and true. And so, the king and his queen ruled together in kindness and wisdom, their story told for generations, a tale of how love can awaken even the coldest heart of stone. And they lived happily ever after.